Okay, welcome once again. So today we are going to talk about ARDANA, a project that runs on the CARDANO blockchain. Okay, let's go over to CoinMarketCap. Let's CoinMarketCap. So let's search for ARDANA. ARDANA. Is it? So this ARDANA, you see it's down. It's down. You can see the 24 hours trading volume is around 184,000. Yeah. Let's go to 7 days. You see it's down all the way from 0.06 down to what now? 0.008. Okay, some people has not gotten this news. ARDANA just stopped their plan and their project, and the team just announced in their Twitter space that they are no longer going on with their plans, and whoever wish to continue from where they stop can continue because it's open for anyone to take over. So we'll go over to the Twitter space, their Twitter handle, to see their announcement. Also, we are going to take a view on what CARDANO founder has to say about this and what we can learn. Okay, let's go over to their Twitter handle. Like we always say, this is CoinMarketCap. You see the community, you can go to Reddit or you can go to Twitter. So you go to Twitter, you click on Twitter. So it takes you to their Twitter handle, and you see they have around 54,000 followers. You go down, down, down. Let's take a look. Let's find the announcement. Go up a little bit. Okay. I think it's the announcement. Today is what, 24th. Unfortunately, due to recent development with regards to funding and project timeline uncertainty, and the ARDANA project has to come to an halt. Our code will be open, remain open source for builders to continue our work going forward as they wish. So you see they have just stopped and halt their plans, and their code is open for anyone to continue for where they stop. And this has really affected so many people. And some of my friends, although they didn't really make big investment on it, but it has affected some people. And all these are coming just because of the FTS problem. Okay, now I don't want to take much of your time. Let's go over to what the founder of CARDANO, where ARDANA runs, had to say about this. There's so much we have to learn from his own take. So you can also go to his YouTube channel and subscribe and join him. So let's hear what he has to say. Okay.
Hi, everybody. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from rough and rugged Wyoming. Always rough, always rugged, sometimes Wyoming. So I hope the audio is a little bit better for everybody. I managed to find a microphone. I always knew there was one floating off. Okay. So the subject of today's video is ARDANA and Orbis. So these two projects, I guess they shared leadership. Were two projects in the Cardano ecosystem. I saw over the last few days some grumblings about the projects having issues, and then on Twitter, a tweet came out saying that they have now discontinued operations, or at least they're scaling back to the point where they're no longer going to be able to deliver what they promised they were going to deliver. Now, I was an investor in these projects through the C Fund, and the C Fund invests in a lot of things, everything from
Okay, you can see, like what I said, he's also an investor in this project, and he has counted his loss, and we are still moving forward. He's going to give several reasons why and what happened, and let me not say much. Let's just see.
Riders to Sunday, amongst many others. And it looks like it's probably a total loss. And what was incredibly distasteful to me was the management of these projects seemed to blame Cardano for their failures. I will remind everyone that Ethereum raised $18 million, of which they only got to deploy 9 million because they lost 9 million to market volatility and they didn't hedge their Bitcoin properly. And they delivered the second most valuable cryptocurrency in the world. This was not a funding issue. This was not a platform issue. Looks like it was a leadership issue. Things happen. People sometimes don't execute. People make mistakes. And usually there's something left behind for people to salvage from these situations. Good.
Sorry for pausing. Like I always said, there is no project you wish you can invest in and it's 100% guarantee. So what is he trying to say? He's trying to say the faults or the problem from this project might be from the team and might be from their leaders or their management. He set an example about the loss from ITA and other projects. So let's continue.
Developers, good leaders, code, something. My hope is as the forensics work their way through, that we as an ecosystem can discover what value, if any, has been produced. Now, my understanding is, having talked to the C Fund, that the first time we were informed that these projects were having trouble was through Twitter, the same time.
You heard what he said. The first time this project that was running on its own blockchain was informed was through Twitter. So what do you think, on the normal ground, what do you think someone has to do? Okay, I'm running a project on Cardano. What should I do? Is it not wise enough for me to contact the Cardano founder, tell him, oh, this is what we are facing, contact most of your major investors and tell them the issue, sit in the round table and discuss?
Time as you guys, which is utterly distasteful. And it shouldn't have happened. And it's a decentralized ecosystem. And the frustration here is that you cannot curate these ecosystems as if there's a single entity running everything. IO doesn't run the show. Emergo doesn't run the show. The CF doesn't run the show. Reality is that it's everyone's collective effort to do better. Cardano is very strong. There are over 1,200 projects building. Over 100 have launched in some way. We have this great strength in NFTs. Stablecoins are announced and coming. DEXs are already operational. And Vossel has been launched and has considerably improved the development experience. There's a lot more to do on the Plutus side. There's a lot more to build. The Plutus team is working hard on that, as are many independent developers. And a lot of alternative approaches are being taken thanks to the creativity of the many developers trying to build things on Cardano. Like any new platform, it does take time and it does take effort. But this was the case with Ethereum and it didn't seem to stop their growth. This was the case with Bitcoin and it didn't seem to stop their growth. This was the case with Android and iOS, and it didn't seem to stop their growth in there.
So what is he trying to say? He's trying to say this. A project that failed on the Cardano chain doesn't mean Cardano is going down or Cardano is going to fail. There are several other companies and projects, Ethereum and others, which some other projects have failed in their blockchain, running in their blockchain. So it is not necessarily means that Cardano had a major hit from this project.
Respect. Languages and people, processes and procedures, they always find a way if they have a good idea and there are good people working hard. What truly bothers me is that the crypto media is going to use this as an opportunity to say that Cardano is dead or failing or succumbing to the same forces that killed FTX. And it couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that in venture capital and with new projects, 80 to 90% will fail. If 1,200 are building, 24 months to 36 months, 800, 900 or more will probably not be here. They'll have consolidated, failed, or stalled to the point where they're no longer economically viable. This is the nature of new endeavors. Good idea.
So what is it trying to say? From what I can understand is this. It's trying to say this is a new system and major other projects that are not here for a long time are going to fall out. Those other projects that are not well built, do not have a complete grounded plan, are going to fail out with time.
Can be great ideas and still fail. Great technology can be great technology and still fail. You require the right people, processes, procedures, execution, strategy, and market conditions in order for something to be successful. Sometimes people get incredibly lucky and they're in the right place in the right time, and sometimes people get incredibly unlucky, where despite how innovative they think and how much great work that they've put in, they're in the wrong conditions to succeed, or in the wrong environment to succeed, with the wrong community to succeed. The power and magic of Cardano is its resilience and durability, and its capacity to adjust, grow, and change. And that's where we're currently at. Every single day, we have demonstrated as an ecosystem that we're strong and capable. For example, we just had the Cardano Summit led by the Cardano Foundation. And there we saw more than 50 distributed summits around the world, from Vietnam and Korea to the UK to places in South America and the US. Probably more than 10,000 people attended those, and more than 1,500, I believe, attended the in-person summit in Lausanne, myself included. I didn't see a weak, dying ecosystem there. We saw we saw incredibly passionate, evangelistic people. Sorry, I seem to be having some more mic problems. Can everybody hear me?
I think he's having a little mic issue.
Okay, can everybody hear me now?
Let's continue.
Testing. Yeah, there we go. We saw incredibly passionate and evangelistic people building great things every day. And we saw the same thing at ScottFest. We saw the same thing with the growth overall of the ecosystem. But what this does highlight is that there is a need for us as a community to be better at due diligence and demanding accountability and responsible reporting from the projects who purport to be building on Cardano and are in a position of public trust, either from receiving funds from Catalyst or ISPOs, foundation grants, or venture capital in our ecosystem. They should be more than willing to regularly engage with the community, have weekly or monthly updates on development, demonstrate good source code, including where they're having troubles and problems through Stack Exchange, Discord, or other places. They also should be more than willing.
You see what I said? He's trying to say this. This project should have contacted them and try to find way to settle or find solution with their funding, and I think that will be better. But let's go on.
Willing to work with the community to help ameliorate and address problems, and be intellectually honest about where they're at and where they're going to have delays or troubles. If projects are having funding problems, they absolutely need to get in front of it and point out that conditions have changed and try to work with the community to resolve those particular problems. Perhaps projects could merge together. Perhaps projects can find ways to reduce costs in a novel, creative effort. Maybe business ideas were never viable or were only viable during a bull market. For things to be legitimate, real, they have to survive in a bull and a bear market. So the community has to come together. They have to work together, and we have to come up with ways as one to be able to ensure that these things as they happen, because more will come. That's the nature of this game. The same happened to Ethereum, the same happened to Bitcoin, the same happened everywhere in the world, that we resolve them one by one. Now, if a project is going to fail, it would be nice if you let your investors know prior to going to Twitter and letting the world know. Again, that was my understanding, that our first contact about this came from Twitter, not privately. And I was deeply disappointed about that. And
like I said now, you see, he is bringing different solution which could have helped this project. But this project and the developers, the founders, didn't see it fit enough to contact Cardano, contact the investors to seek advice. So although we are growing as a new project or new technology, we are learning every day. We've learned from FTS, we've learned from Luna, and several others. So we continue to grow. So what he is trying to say from our understanding is this: there should be a collaboration, put different ideas together. He talked about building a project or a plan that can survive during the bear market and the bull season. These are circles that we all will go through in this space. So we should learn to come together and face different challenges that we come across as we grow.
Any person who was connected to that, let that be known for future attempts to raise capital. Whichever ecosystem they go to, wherever they go, that's how they behave to the people who have been given, who gave them trust. So Thanksgiving was yesterday. It was a good day for a lot of us. Today's Black Friday, and the caravan keeps moving on.
So what are you getting on Black Friday? Okay, let us know what you'll be getting. What are your plans for the Black Friday? How did you spend your Thanksgiving? Did you spend it with your family? Did you spend it all alone? Just drop your own experience.
We as an ecosystem continue to move on, and we'll continue building and growing, and a lot of great news on the horizon. SIP 1694 is out there. Love to get more review on it. Constitution is coming. MBO is under construction, and that's an example of an institution that can be used to improve these things. A lot of great enhancements to Catalyst to discuss. A lot of great technology is being built. Markets are really tough right now. FTX, of course, caused a lot of problems, and the excesses of 2021 will take time to clear. There's a lot of work to do on the regulation side, but all things considered, we're a mature adult ecosystem. We have the capability and capacity to be able to do this together and work through it together. So I firmly believe that our best days are ahead of us, and I firmly believe that these kinds of things are great teachable moments for us to temper enthusiasm and transform it into disciplined, methodical work, so that we can continue moving forward. So I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a good Black Friday. I hope you're with family and friends, and that you realize that this is just a day like any other. We on our side, through C Fund, will of course be asking a lot of very difficult questions to understand more of what happened, and we imagine others will as well. And to any other project building on Cardano, please do make sure that you use this as a teachable moment for more transparency and for more accountability. And of course, if there are problems, let them be known now, when there's an opportunity for them to be fixed, as opposed to after you fail, when there isn't. Thank you all for your time, and sorry about the microphone issues. Cheers.
Okay, thank you. So you see, he's clearing the issue of coming out before the problem, before it becomes not to a problem you can solve. When you start seeing the issue, try to reach out to your team, reach out outside your team, Collaborate and ask within the space before you come out to make such an announcement. So that's what we have for today. So let's take a look at the market. Bull market. BTC is trading 16K, Ethereum 1,900, 1,019. Just you see, BNB 300, not bad. Let's go to Cardano. Cardano is down 0.31. I don't know what to say, but make your choice. Okay, this is all we'll be having for today. Thank you once again. Do well to subscribe, like, and share our content. We'll see you in our next video. Bye.